Alrighty, it's already been, like 20 seconds, but it hasn't, but whatever. So, we're back, and the fuel's about to run out on this one as well. It's speeding up very quickly, but it just does not have enough fuel to do much else, so it will hit the orbit part, probably, right there, and now it's burned out. So, if we look here, this should be dropping, and it is. So we'll call it, it's going to drop very, very slowly. So we'll call it 143. It's pretty much what it is. So 143 kilometers, and that's basically where it'll stay. So that's our that's the first two engines tested. I will now show you the next one. So we're going to start, I think, see, these are the radials that I almost forgot about. So radial engine and then its distance. I have a little thing I'm writing down here so I can tell. I think dinner is going to be made soon, or dinner should be ready soon. So I don't know how much of this I'll be able to get through now, but I'll certainly finish it in recording later. And this will probably split into an episode or 2 or 3 or whatever it takes. So let's see, we're going to go with this engine here. So we're going to stack them on here pretty good until I can't get this thing to lift off anymore, and then we'll go down a bit. So try to do a bit of a curve with it, as this thing will burn out quickly. It's a very, very, very powerful engine, and this should be absolutely no problem, to be honest. So we'll start with this. That's 14. We'll see if this lifts off. If it does, we'll keep adding until it doesn't, and then start doing the actual testing. So this thing is big. Alright, so SAS, full throttle, launch. Alright, very, very quick launch. So we're going to have to add more. More rockets. More fuel tanks, rather. Alright, so that means take you and swing you into the clouds up here, which is pretty much as high as I can make you go. So if I can't fit enough of these in here, we'll just go with what we have. As I said, this rocket is quite powerful, so I'll leave you down here and see if I can basically make a very, very, very long rocket that is just these basic fuel tanks, and we'll see how high this thing can go. I'll put it with, I guess, one more, two more, and launch. So that's with 28 fuel tanks. This thing may collapse, which means they may have to do some little special things with it, but long rocket is long. Long rocket is long. Alright. So that, and launch. Oh shit, we're starting here. Because this is the biggest freaking rocket I can put together with the large engine. So we're starting with 28. So, I mean, if this thing collapses on its own, this thing collapses on its own, and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just going to leave it be on its own, and we'll see the specific impulse being shit, as usual. So, this thing is really, 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 really unstable. Who would have guessed being 28 fucking fuel tanks long? Who would have fucking guessed that this thing is unstable? So, anyway, I'll catch you in about a minute as soon as it decides to burn through most of its tanks. When it has one tank left, I'll talk because it'll go quick. So, see you guys in a second. Alright, it's got a few fuel tanks left, but they drain so damn quickly that, well, it shouldn't take much longer, and we're already way, way, way up in orbit right now, and Ferdinand Kerman is not happy in the slightest. So now it's done. We will see how far out it got. The answer to this is 1,000,003. So 1,350,000 meters. So About 1,350 kilometers. A really, really far flight. Vehicle assembly building. Alright, so that's that. I think I can actually make this longer, so I'm going to try. I'm going to kind of be ridiculous about this. I'm going to take here and see if this will work. I'm just going to see just how freaking big I can make it. Yeah, this may not end well. Just because I want to see if I can do this or not. If I can, well, that's good for testing. Actually, oh, hey. I saw it there for a second. Nope, that was not it. Let's take this one off. Yes, it works. Okay, good. So we're actually going to go with 38, 10 more. If this launches, that is. But 38 or 28 is a good first thing. Long rocket is really, really long. This thing is probably not stable in the slightest. And 3, 2, 1, launch. Oh shit. 38 is the next one we're going to try because, well, I made one that's 38 fuel tanks long, and if it collapses, flips over, is not stable, don't sue me, it just looks really funny. Oh shit, this thing is not stable at all. It's going to probably flip over, fly somewhere weird, or decide to spin around in circles about its middle, which could also be quite funny. So anyway, if this thing makes it to the top, I'll catch you there. If not, then you will see a lovely explosion or something. See you guys in a second whenever something happens. I think it looks like it's going up, so I'll see you at the top. Oh shit. Oh shit. Well, at about this point, it decided that it was going to separate with a few fuel tanks left. So this one actually did not make it quite far. Only made 157. We'll say this is 158 actually. And this was a catastrophic failure. Because that's exactly what happened. It catastrophically failed and had like 6 or 7 fuel tanks left. So we will drop it down, I think, quite a bit. So I will take this out here. I'll drop out this much. We're at 23, so that's 5 down from before. So I'll do it in sort of 5s, and so 23, and the next one we'll do after this is 18. Then we will do 15, and that'll be that. I think with the 38 outlier, we'll actually end up doing 13 as well. So anyway, SAS engaged. 3, 2, 1. Oh shit, it's fallen over. Oh shit, we're gonna have to redo this one. I'll have to go quick on it because it don't like it. Oh shit. That was a failure. Let's restart the flight. Turn SAS on immediately and launch, and don't worry about anything else. So full throttle ASAP. Full throttle SAS launch, and I will see you as soon as we get to the top of this one. It looks somewhat more stable than the other one, although it's not going to be for very long. So again, see you guys when we get to the end of this one. Okay, so I'm back. This one shouldn't take that much time to finish, but it's developed an odd shake. It seems to be harmonically oscillating, like so. If you can see my cursor here, it's doing one of these. So it's harmonically oscillating based on the gimbal here, and it's sort of in tune with it, so it's sort of doing that kind of oscillation. We have 2 fuel tanks left. 1 more tank, and it's halfway gone already. And wow, that thing has a lot of G-forces. Alright, so This one made it out to 865 kilometers. And the flight. Now we're going to try 18. So I can't really do more than 28 or it'll explode. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're gone. Oops, you're gone. Pack you in there. And we'll do the same quick launch technique because it may not be happy with it. So anyway, full throttle, SAS engaged, launch. So I'll see you as soon as we get to the top of this rocket. Alright, we're getting down to the lower amounts of fuel tanks. We're at 5 now. Since, okay, 14 have burned, 4, 3 now, so it should be pretty quick. This thing probably won't make it out of the atmosphere while it's burning, but it certainly will post-burn. It's got quite a bit of velocity and quite a bit of G's here. Alright, so its initial one, I'd have to say, so it'll be 471 as soon as all is said and done, I think. Unless it sort of stays at 472. So actually, you know what? I'll get 472. 72 kilometers. Alright, we got 2 more. These should be a little quicker, 15 and 13. Or 13, sorry. 13 and then 8. What am I talking about? 13 and 8. By 5s, not by anything else. Alright, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chuck you guys out. And I'll drop this thing down, actually. Makes it a little easier. Oops, can't see the bottom. That was a little too far. Put it down here. Alright, now we should be able to see it. Launch. This should give you guys a good idea of the power of each one. I mean, this one's pretty obvious that it was going to put a lot, despite it, you know, being crazy. So, full power, SAS, launch, and I'll catch you guys soon, since this one will burn pretty quickly. Alright, I'm back. We've got 2 more fuel tanks, and the G-forces are rising due to us going really, really fast in the atmosphere. That's the problem. So we've hit nearly 1,500 meters a second, and this thing, it did not go very high, that is for sure. So we'll sort of see where this thing terminates itself, whether it would go for 194, which is what it seems, so I'll go put that down. 194 kilometers, that's approximately what it'll be. It won't really fluctuate too much more after that. One more data point, this one will be quick. Well, quicker for me than for you. It'll probably be longer for you than the others. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chuck these. So we're starting here with 8, which should be a good starting point for the next engine, I suppose. And hey, this one's almost as tall as the tower. So, SAS, full throttle, launch. So yeah, this one is going to go up quick. I want you guys to pay attention to the G-forces. It's actually very interesting, because as this thing gains speed, the G-forces usually would go down as you go higher because the atmosphere gets thinner. But this rocket is powerful enough to the point where it increases your speed, and thus the G-forces against, due to the atmosphere. I don't really know why it's doing that, but it's basically I think the way it does it is through the atmosphere. So the force against is much higher, and this thing did not go very far at all, as was expected. This thing did not make it out of the atmosphere. So let's find out how high it actually gets in about a minute or less, because it's going down quickly. It's going to be somewhere around 40,000 due to atmospheric drag, among other things. So I wish I could speed up, but I can't. No speeding up in the atmosphere. And the Earth is moving away from me for some stupid reason. Alright. It seems actually to be 43,000, so I can write that down pretty confidently. So 43 kilometers. Yep. 43 kilometers. Since I'll keep everything in kilometers. Actually, I'll put 43.1 because it's significant. Sig figs, yay, love that stuff. Anyway, vehicle assembly building. I'm going to keep it to 3. So, this engine is dispensed with. Now we're going to do this one. And I need to figure out at what point this will launch. And then do some tests from there. So, the other one was down by 5s because, well, there's so many to test. Alright. Full throttle. Launch. Nope, will not do that. Alright, spare and flight, rather. Vehicle assembly building. Let's take off one of these and find where it launches. This is going to be a long recording session for me. I don't know how many episodes this will end up being for you guys, but it'll be a couple at least. And I hope it's helpful for you amateur rocketeers in Kerbal Space Program. I hope it helps. Because I didn't ever do this before, and I think it would definitely be helpful so I could say, okay, this is the optimal setup for each engine. This is how many it can power effectively, and so on. So let's try with 6. 5 will be, I hope, what works. But if it's lower, I'll just do it until the amount that I have. I mean, I'm actually curious. Yeah, the specific impulse is quite low. It says only for in Kerbal, or in Kerbal atmosphere flight in atmospheres. So now we're starting at 5. I don't know how much data points we're going to get for this one. It may only be like 1, and we can't really test without going into space. Delta V testing and all that stuff. So, and launch. Is it going up? Is it going up? I can't tell. Nope, not going up. Thought it was going up for a second. So that was 5. Let's try 4. See, 4 launches. We'll do the however many there are. So this should load quickly. Load up and launch. Nope, not launching. And flight. Highest achieved speed 175 meters a second, because that's just the planet. Alright. Now we're trying 3 with Fernand again. He's freaking out and I haven't even launched. Alright, full throttle, SAS, launch. Hey, this one's gonna go. Imagine that. Alright, so we're gonna do 3, 2, and 1 in this case. I left a little extra space on each of the other ones in case I felt like doing slightly more accurate testing, like on the large engine, perhaps. I may want to do a little more testing, but I probably won't for the small tanks. And I'm only going to do full small tanks. I'm not going to do the halves unless I get to certain engines might be useful for them, but right now it doesn't matter. And this thing sips fuel comparatively. So it's pretty good. Oops, where's that? There's the right angle for it. So yeah, it's definitely sipping fuel at 8 a sec, which is pretty good. But this thing won't go very high, I can tell you that already. This is for out of atmosphere, high specific impulse stuff for like small rockets, very small rockets. Like this is the size of rocket that it would be good for space for. So I don't expect this one or the other one. I don't expect the other one to actually take off. The very small engine, which is the next one. So we'll just see how high these three get, and then we'll try the very small engine, which may not lift off at all, and then we will do the spike, the toroidal spike engine, and then we will do the radial engine, and that will be that. So, hey, this one's already almost done. I'm like talking over the whole thing, and you guys are just sort of sitting there. And yeah, this specific impulse is like 400 maybe. So it's going much higher, and so the fuel is just going away much slower. Hey, I could look at it. So, and we're out. All right. So yeah, I didn't expect much of this, but 18,000, so 20 something seconds, we'll be able to figure out what the height is actually going to be here. We'll write it down. Seems to be 18,400, so 18,400. Now, and that flight vehicle assembly, let's make it 2 engines. And see, because like the large engine for the small fuel tanks, it was better with 7 than 8, but it was worse with 6 than 7 or 8. So you'll see that in the graphs, I guess. I will make graphs. Oops, I forgot to turn that on. So yeah, I'll show you the graphs, and you'll see them, and you'll be happy, and all that stuff. So this will go higher. It'll sip fuel less, I think, but it won't go as high, most likely. I mean, between 7 and 8 was really only a difference of 30 kilometers up, which is really, at that point, not much, but you'll see that. And hey, we're almost out of fuel in the first one. And the specific impulse is going up much quicker on this here. Consumption is much lower, I think, than the other one was by the second fuel tank. So, but I don't expect it to go very high again. Not a very powerful engine. And then we'll do the one fuel tank. Let's see if we can lift off with the very small engine. Then we'll do the toroidal. I may actually do that in a different recording session, so that may not make it into this specific session. But we'll see. We will see. It's almost out. And it's out. Okay. And this is going to be like 11 something. Then 9, 11.8. It's 11.9 really. Okay, I'll call it 11.9. Alright, so 11.9, we'll call that one. And then we will go down to the 1, which will definitely not go as high. And launch. And then I'll see if this thing can, the smaller one can even lift off with 1 or a half tank. And then if that doesn't work, then we'll move on to the toroidal. And then on to the radials. So, alright, this will be quick, thankfully. Little tiny thing. It'll reach a decent speed though, I think. Because it's got very low mass compared to the others. It may reach about the same speed as the other two, like 200, 250, but that remains to be seen. So yeah, this thing's not going to go high. It's going to go like maybe 5,000, 6,000 meters. Probably a lot less, actually. 4,000, 3,000, something like that. Nice. 350, or 150 meters a second. And there we go. Alright. Hey, it's 5,000, 4,000, 4,8. or 49 rather. So it's 4,900 meters. Let's end the flight and let's go on to the very small engine. Alright. Very, very small engine is this one. I doubt this is going to lift off. I'll try the half tank, but I doubt that'll lift off. These both have really high specific impulse, but that's it. So, yeah, the consumption is not high. And I didn't expect that to lift off. So, let's try the half tank. If that half tank doesn't work, we're going directly to the toroidal. So, half tank it is. And I'm launching this capsule to sort of keep the comparisons the same for each engine, even though I know this thing is going to have a lot of trouble and probably will not lift off. So, again, that'll be 1.4. Yep. As I said, first of all, it's going to sip very slowly, so this is going to go really, really slow. I'm actually curious at which point it's going to lift off, if it lifts off at all. So, like, basically, what's the weight here that it'll lift off at? And that'll give me a decent idea of, like, you know, a quarter tank or something would be what it would need to lift off from here, perhaps. So right now it's on the it is about a third done. A third of 200 is, I don't know. Let's see. A third of 200. This would be 66, so that would be 33 at that point. My mind is fried here. Anyway, we're almost halfway down with this fuel tank. Still has not lifted off. We're now below halfway. It's getting a little wobbly, which means it might take off soon. So we're sort of going to sit here. And it says T plus 0 because it hasn't moved yet. So I'll know when it takes off based on that. And then we can sort of figure out how much fuel that has based on the numbers. And then I can, well, even a quarter of a half tank, an eighth of a tank. That would be at 50 liters, by the way. Nope, did not lift off yet. 40 liters. Is it going to lift off? Nope. I don't think this thing's going to lift off, like, ever. It might, at the very, very, very little fuel left, but I don't think so. I think it's just too heavy. I think it's just too heavy. Maybe at 10 liters. 10 liters, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Not enough fuel. Or not enough thrust. Did not lift off. Exclamation point. Alright, vehicle assembly building. Now we're going to do the toroidals. So these are also quite powerful, so I will give them a decent amount of tanks. Actually, you know what? I'm being silly here. I forgot about this. And I will stick on the toroidal arrow spike rocket. So we'll launch that. This one has 11 and 6 for 17 here. Because I copy-pasted, so I was not happy. Full throttle, launch, too heavy. Oops, that was an accident, so it'll still be on the pad. Let's take out 3 of them and see if this works. 14 now. Oops, not what I meant. So now we're trying 14, and we're going to sort of figure out at what point it lifts off. I mean, I'm just going to see, because it might still be too heavy, and that saves me 3 attempts. So, yep, I'm going to try down 3 again. Until I get it to launch. So we'll try 11. And then once I find out what point it launches, we'll go down there from 5 from there, that one, and then 4 more. 4 more, rather. And then we'll move on to the other engines, the radials. Alright. That one, oops, again, I made that stupid mistake. I'm going to go down 2 now instead of that, so we're going to hit from 9. See if 9 is enough. This is all hit and miss for me. I don't know a lot of this, so. Okay, that's launching for sure. It's slow as all balls, but so we know 9 works. Let's see if 10 works. If 10 does work, we'll start with 10. If it doesn't, we'll go with 9. So here we go. And then the next sort of set of tests I'll do is some like decouple stuff and whatever. So some basic rockets. We'll actually you know what? We'll go on to the large fuel tanks, and then we'll do some decouple stuff. And launch. You know what? This one is headed up. Okay? If it crashes, I don't care. It may crash. But either way, I'll catch you when it either crashes or it lifts off farther. So this is the toroidal aerospike. It's got a high specific impulse because it's got a decent amount of thrust, and it's got pretty low fuel consumption. So this, I think, is the most efficient takeoff engine. But that will remain to be seen. So anyway, yeah, I'll catch you guys when we're down to like half a tank. So see you guys in a minute.